What's up, everyone? My name is Trent. This is Rams Talk. Thank you for watching the Super Bowl 53 edition, Rams versus Patriots. So stoked for this game. Welcome to the show. For all of the people that are watching this for the first time, welcome. Please subscribe if you like. If you are a longtime subscriber, thank you so much. All the comments, everything. You guys have been fantastic, been awesome. I feel like I really know all of you. And for the subscribers that just joined, welcome. I hope you're a Rams fan. There's good stuff. There's great content. And I look forward to hearing from you and what you have to say for the Super Bowl edition. Now, this is going to be one of like 3 or 4 that I'm doing because there's just so many elements of this game. I don't want to drop like a 3-hour video on you right now, so I'm just going to kind of chop it up into blocks. And this one's just going to be, I'm just going to be kind of talking about some talking points. I'm not going to be doing too much of a deep dive on the analysis of the defense and the offense and things like that, but I'm thinking of doing like one episode will be Rams defense versus Pats offense, and then the other one flipping it, Pats defense versus Rams offense. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You can also find me on Twitter at Real LA Rams Talk. That's where I'm in the moment. That's where if you're on Twitter, hit it up. The Rams community there is pretty cool. But yeah, Super Bowl. This is pretty good. I think we're past the Saints stuff. I'm not going to talk about that at all, and now we can focus directly on the Super Bowl. Now, being a lifelong Rams fan, you know, I've disliked the Patriots pretty much since they lost to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I honestly didn't have a problem with them before Super Bowl 34. And then that was basically not a changing of the guard, but just like where the Patriots just ascended and the dynasty was born, and the Rams descended into darkness for what seemed to be an eternity. So it was tough seeing the Patriots be my team, which was a heavy favorite, go on and win the Super Bowl and launch Brady's career. So I'm hoping that this comes full circle in the Rams. I mean, this is revenge for me in a way, because there is at least one player left from that team that beat the Rams all the way back when. Now, one thing that I find very interesting is that this is also a rivalry between LA and Boston. And just because New England isn't called the Boston Patriots, and it really, that's what it is. So the LA Dodgers just lost to the Red Sox in the World Series. And now LA has a chance at just the city at redemption against the New England Patriots. So this is just, you know, if the Lakers and the Celtics meet, which is unlikely, especially from the Lakers' perspective, then that would be just an awesome year of Boston versus LA stuff. Now, a quick note to all of the New England fans: you are welcome here. Okay, let's just be cool. All right, let's not come in here just lobbing grenades and stuff like that, because you will be blocked. Let's just have a nice conversation, a nice discourse. Rams fans, be hospitable. You know, this is our house. So yeah, let's just all get along. Now, the Super Bowl is in Atlanta. Atlanta is where the Rams won their last Super Bowl, their only Super Bowl, against the Titans, Super Bowl 34. That was also in Atlanta, although it was in a different stadium at the time. Atlanta also, probably not huge Patriot fans, because a couple of years ago, the Patriots beat Atlanta in the Super Bowl. So probably not pro-New England in Atlanta, but an interesting fact about that nonetheless. And I do have to give a lot of credit. Although I've despised the Patriots for years, I do have to give a lot of credit for the consistency that they bring. Belichick and Brady, what they've done. I mean, that is hard to do. Even though you play in like the worst division in football, you know, and you can easily go undefeated in the NFC or the AFC East, but not even them, just Bob Kraft. This is Bob Kraft's 10th Super Bowl since he bought the team. That's insane. That's crazy stuff, and you have to tip your cap to that, you know. Another thing that I think is very overlooked is the fact that 2 years ago the Rams were 4-12. They went from 4-12 to 2 years later in the Super Bowl. That kind of turnaround is unheard of, and this isn't like a flash in the pan kind of thing. This is a team that's built for long-term success. So, yeah, this is just for Rams fans in LA. This is just kind of a crazy turn of events that we're in the Super Bowl. Now, when I think about this, I'm thinking about narratives. I'm thinking about like the the chess match between these two guys, Belichick and McVay. And this is really what I think this game, like right now, what are Belichick and McVay doing right now? Like they're in their war rooms and they are just like, they're going over everything. But I have a feeling that both of these two coaches have had each other and these teams, they've been scouting them for a while, because if you're Belichick and you know that you could potentially go to the Super Bowl, and then who in the NFC can potentially go to the Super Bowl? And also you're probably intrigued by McVay. So you're thinking about everything McVay's doing like beginning of this year. So this isn't just like, oh, we just started looking at tape, at film just now. You know, this is probably, I wouldn't be surprised if either McVay or Belichick have kept, and McDaniels have kept plays, entire playbook that they haven't even run. So like there's no film on going into this game. That's going to be super interesting because they'll know each other's tendencies. They'll look at the film. They'll get it. They'll go back years looking at film. And they already kind of know. But what are the secret things that have not been unveiled yet? And that, to me, is going to be like this chess match of like, well, I know you know, but do you know that I know you know? And then do you know that I know that you know that I know that you know? And I think that's like this whole weird matrix kind of thing that's going to be happening. Now, the narrative that I'm just, as a Rams fan, getting super tired of is Bill Belichick always takes away your team's strength. Yeah, a lot of coaches do that. That's not just Bill Belichick. He's good at doing it, but it's not just him. So, credit. Last Super Bowl against the Rams, took away Marshall Faulk. Like, bumped him, always were chipping him. That's when things could, you know, hits were a little more questionable. But they did not let Marshall Faulk beat them. That was their main focus. And then they played deep on the receivers and wouldn't let them go over the top. And I mean, they were just always getting after Gurley, and it worked. And it'd be interesting to see how they handled Todd Gurley in the sense like, is he healthy? Who knows? Are they going to just kind of chip at him the whole time and kind of wear him down in that sense? So that's going to be interesting. But also, if you look at the Kansas City game, what they did, because Kansas City going into the game was pretty one-dimensional. Ever since they lost Kareem Hunt, they haven't had really a good running game, so to speak. And so they basically had Gilmore. He took out Sammy Watkins, took Sammy Watkins out of the game. Then you had J.C. Jackson on Travis Kelce, and then you had Jonathan Jones and McCourty double-teaming Tyreek Hill, who only had one catch. So they basically said, we're not going to let Tyreek beat us. We're going to double-team him, and we're going to take him out of the game. And then we're going to have our best cornerback take out Sammy Watkins, and then we'll try and handle Kelce because we don't think that they have a running game. And that worked, you know. That's taking things away, taking Tyreek Hill away. But it's hard to take a receiver away, or you can take a receiver away, but if they saw Kareem Hunt, then, you know, that's going to allow for Kareem Hunt to go wild, but they didn't have that. They were one-dimensional. The Rams are not one-dimensional. They're a very well-rounded offense. So it'll be very interesting to see how Bill Belichick, you know, is he going to just try and take away the running game in general? Is he going to try and take away the passing game? Where is he going to kind of focus? Because both teams are very technically sound, so where is he going to focus his energy? Now, with that narrative of Bill Belichick always takes something away, Wade Phillips and Sean McVay take things away too. Pats fans, you might not have watched the last two games, but Wade Phillips and Sean McVay schemed it so they took the number one rusher in all of football, Zeke Elliott, under 50 yards, took him out of the game, took the running attack for Dallas out of the game. Then last week against New Orleans, they took the running game for New Orleans, Kamara and Ingram, out of the game, as well as Mike Thomas, who only had 36 yards. So let's also remember Wade Phillips, kind of a mastermind defensive coordinator in this league. Sean McVay, kind of a mastermind offensive coordinator in this league. The Patriots aren't the only team with good coaches that have really good schemes. Now, if you go back to 2015 AFC Championship, the game, that's when the Broncos beat the Patriots, and Tom Brady had his second lowest passer rating in the postseason of his career. Wade Phillips was a defensive coordinator, Von Miller on that team, And that Tom Brady, I believe, was 27 for 54, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 4 sacks. So, I mean, this is very like Braveheart-esque of like, he's 10 feet tall and shoots fireballs out his ass. Like the myth. And like the last couple of days, I've just heard of this myth of Belichick and Brady and all the McDaniels and just, and just like, oh gosh, why did we even show up and play the game? Right? I think so much is being poured on that. And that's fine. People can sleep on the Rams. But that narrative of Bill Belichick takes things away. He's not the only one. What are the Rams going to do? What are the Rams going to neutralize? Because it's coming. They're going to figure something out against the Patriots. And then the whole game is going to be game flow and, making adjustments and this, that, and the other. But are they going to take away the running game? Are they going to take away Edelman? Are they going to take away James White in the passing game? I don't know. But I mean, something is going to happen. So what the Rams did against New England or against New Orleans is they just let the run. They stacked the box. They didn't let the running backs beat them running the ball. But Kamara had almost 100 yards on 11 receptions in the passing game. So I feel personally that James White, to me, as of right now, is the wild card in this game. And if the Rams stop the running attack for the Patriots, is James White going to get 10-plus receptions? And as a defense, you just want to set that net and not allow any big plays. What do you think, Brian Daly? I got a Patriots buddy here, and I'm curious. I want a hot take from a Patriots fan. Oh, no. He's putting it on.
I don't need to put it on. Let's just...
See, that's back when I didn't have a problem with the Patriots. So Drew Bledsoe, no beef with Drew Bledsoe. That's back when the Pats were whatever. Whatever. Yeah. He's adjusting it. Let's talk about that safety net and stopping James White and the running backs in the passing game. Mark Barron and Corey Littleton were like super active. I mean, they were going sideline to sideline. And I think that right now my take is that they're going to be, this is a big key game for those two, keeping James White and Edelman even in like that mid area under control.
All right.
Right, Brian?
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Here's my take. I was thinking about it. And first of all, the Bledsoe jersey is to remind myself and everybody else that says that we're privileged Patriots fans, we always had a great team. They weren't the greatest team in these days when I was a kid. The Patriots weren't so good. The Red Sox sucked. I didn't always have champions in my city.
Drew Bledsoe still went to a Super Bowl. So it wasn't like they were the worst team ever.
It was so fluty. But, all right, here's my question. Do you think you can compare the arguably toughest game of the season for the Patriots, which I'm going to say was probably the Chiefs, and the toughest game for the Rams, which was probably the Chiefs? Who do you think played a better game against this great team, the Chiefs? And do you think that's going to reflect on the outcome of the Patriots-Rams Super Bowl?
That's a good question. And I think it was almost like two worlds apart. So the Rams, when they played the Chiefs, it was just like a slugfest. They didn't have Aqib Talib in the secondary, which really was a stabilizing force. And I think, that game was fun and that was at home for the Rams, whereas the Patriots won on the road against the Chiefs. Chiefs against the Rams also had Kareem Hunt. They're all pro running back. They didn't have him against the Patriots. I think it's one of those things with the Patriots and the Chiefs. It just wasn't that like the Chiefs have to lose in the playoffs, to kind of like learn and move on and get better. Like they weren't ready. Like they just weren't ready to beat the champion. And I think this losing to the Patriots is like helps them kind of like take that step. So next year, like they will be the class. But like. The difference between the two games was, I don't know. I mean, it was an offensive shootout, and then it was kind of a, meltdown by KC. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. Interesting.
That's what I got. And last statement here, we got a healthy Gronk, a healthy Edelman, healthy Brady. It's rare to have this going to the Super Bowl. After working on this show, Rams Talk, this year, I've become slightly a Rams fan. I'm happy that it came down to the Rams-Patriots. No hard feelings when the Patriots win. But you know what? I like this guy, and you guys like him too. So go Rams for this one.
And see, that's I think if anything, that's what we're doing here. We're hanging out. We're being cool. All right? I like Boston. It's my favorite East Coast city. I love clam chowder. All right? That's just terrible. But
I like that.
One last thing I want to say, I want to point out, I feel the right now, I mean, we still have like, what, 9 days to go before the game, but right now, my key to the game for the Rams is to stop the running attack of the Patriots. In the playoffs, they've just like gone crazy, not just running the ball, but stopping the run on the defensive side. So the Chargers were, what, 10 rushes for 19 yards, and the offense for San Diego only had 21 minutes time of possession. And then the Kansas City Chiefs had 12 rushes for 41 yards with also 21 minutes of time of possession. Like, that's just not going to get it done. Both those teams became one-dimensional running the ball, whereas the Patriots just went wild. They did 82 rushes for 331 yards in the two games. I want to say the last game against the Chiefs, they ran the ball for 48 times. Like, that's crazy. Their yards per carry are low, but they're just dominating the ball. They're getting out to a lead, and they're holding on to the lead. They had 8 rushing touchdowns in the playoffs. Now, the Rams in the game against Dallas, 273 rushing yards. In fact, they have the most rushing yards of any team in the playoffs. But last game was very iffy. And so my other key to the game is, what version of Todd Gurley are we going to get? Are we going to get the fully healthy, locked in, making plays Todd Gurley? Or are we going to get the kind of disappeared last week, is his knee injured, C.J. Anderson's our guy? Like, what version of Todd Gurley are we going to get? And that could ultimately play into the Rams' favor, because I don't think Belichick, if there's one question about the Rams' offense to game plan around, it is, what are the Rams going to do with their running attack? Is it C.J. Anderson? Is it Gurley? Like, what's going on there? So that kind of is like a little magical mystery thing. But anyways, that's all I got for this edition. Probably running over, what, like 45 minutes? Seems like it's been forever, but it's been good stuff. My thanks to Brian Daly. Patriots fan, good guy. And yeah, if you want to see some other videos, please subscribe, check them out. And until then, go Rams.